At this point in the 4th District, as all of you know, I'm going to have to be in a position of talking about looking at what's fair. So whether we're Democrats or we're Republicans, it's time for everyone to come to the table. It's time for all of us to start looking at trying to find solutions for the problems that we have. And we haven't been doing that. We haven't been trying to get folks together. In the prosecutor's office, one of the things that I've been really fortunate enough to do is to put together groups so that when the fire district has a problem with the law enforcement, we put together what was called a consensual blood draw proposal. When the law enforcement and the children's division had some problems, we put together what was called the child abuse response team in Cass County. I have a DWI task force that meets every month. I'm very proud of the things that we have done in Cass County where we bring people to the table, we talk about the problems, we look for real solutions so that we're actually communicating and we're actually solving problems. And that's what I would like to take to Congress. I am not going to continue to talk all day long, but I do really appreciate having the opportunity to get to be here and meet with you. In the back here is Debbie Lear. I'll let Debbie raise her hand. She has business cards, but I haven't given you one already. She has a business card that has our contact information. I intend to be in every county. And I intend to be in every county more than one time. And I intend to come out and visit with the folks that you want me to meet, and you want to give them an opportunity to ask me questions.
But right now, I challenge you all to think about what you could give to help Teresa get started so that when she makes that next report, she can make a report that looks like we are all behind her and working to do what we can to get Teresa elected. Hensley for Congress. Yes. Now I have another person that I have been very, very interested in. I met him a couple of months ago, in fact, October, at the chili supper down at the Lake Area Federation of Democrats, where we had a really big group like this. And he spoke very eloquently, and we were all wowed by what he had to say about his candidacy for Secretary of State for the grand state of Missouri. And I want to introduce to you right now, Jason Kandor.
I'm an attorney, and prior to serving in the House, I was an Army intelligence officer and volunteered to serve in Afghanistan. My job in Afghanistan was focused really on anti-corruption work within the Afghan government. So as you can imagine, there was plenty of work to be done. Yeah. And then came home and served in the legislature and found that though it was far less dangerous now, there was plenty of anti-corruption work to do. So I've been there about 4 years. I worked across the aisle a few years ago to pass the first ethics bill in about 20 years. I'm still working to try and get sweeping ethics reform in Jefferson City. I'm a really big believer in the idea that when the system works fairly, the policy outcomes on everything are better. So instead of, I differ with some politicians who will talk about education and then healthcare and then ethics reform as if they are all equal issues. To me, campaign reform and ethics reform, and I think we're really seeing this now in the presidential race, is more of an umbrella issue. And I think that when you have a system that works fairly, you end up with better policy outcomes on everything else. That's really the essence of why I'm running for this office. A little bit about me as far as growing up and why I am who I am. I grew up in a family where my mom was a juvenile probation officer, my dad was a police officer. All the kids, I got away with whatever I want, obviously. So the kids I grew up with in our house, who basically became my foster brothers, and when I married my high school sweetheart were my groomsmen, I just grew up in a house that was public service oriented. That was, you reach out and you help others, and you don't make it easy for everybody, but you try and make it where everybody has a chance. It was kind of inevitable that I would be who I am. I'm an attorney who represents working people. We have no primary opposition, which I think is a good thing for Democrats, and we are in a position to really put on a great race, and we'll be counting on you a lot. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, and I'm going to try and get around and shake as many hands as I can before I leave. But thank you again, and thanks for the work that you put in. I appreciate it. God bless you for asking this question. It's yes. Kandor for Missouri.
Kandor.
This is where you write the checks.
Okay,
so thank
Kandor.
you so much.
And